Let me say this clearly, even if no one else will. If you're a man over 60 and your erections aren't what they used to be, it's not just aging, it's blood flow. And if blood isn't reaching where it needs to go, consistently, fully, and on demand, no pill in the world will fix the real issue. That's the harsh truth. But here's the good news. You can turn it around, naturally, safely, and without relying on medication. My name is Dr. Mohit Kara. I'm a urologist and men's health specialist with over 30 years of clinical experience. I've helped thousands of men regain the confidence, vitality, and performance they thought were gone for good, and many of them started in worse shape than you. Most people will tell you to accept decline as normal, but what if I told you that 4 simple exercises, no equipment, no gym, no prescriptions, could significantly improve the blood flow to your penis and restore healthy, lasting erections? What if the real key to sexual vitality after 60 isn't found in your hormone levels? In your circulation and the muscles you've been ignoring for years. In this guide, I'm going to show you exactly what those 4 exercises are, how they work, and how quickly they can make a difference. They're easy to learn, scientifically backed, and surprisingly effective. They've changed lives. So stay with me, because in just a moment, I'll walk you through each one. And once you understand what's really possible, you won't look at your body or your future the same way again. Before we dive in, if improving your health and restoring your confidence matters to you, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a simple, effective tip that could change your life. And if this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. I'm here to learn what truly helps you. All right, let's begin with the first and most overlooked step. An exercise that targets the very muscle responsible for holding and maintaining an erection. It's simple, discreet, and incredibly powerful once you learn to activate it correctly. Exercise 1. Pelvic floor activation, aka Kegel, strengthening for men. Let's start with the foundation. Before anything else, you need to regain control over the one muscle group that plays a direct role in your ability to achieve and sustain an erection: the pelvic floor. Specifically, we're talking about the pubococcygeus muscle, or PC muscle. It's a deep internal muscle that most men have never even thought about, yet it holds the key to firmer erections, better bladder control, and even more intense orgasms. As men age, this muscle tends to weaken, especially if you spend long hours sitting, don't exercise regularly, or have gone years without sexual activity. But here's the truth. Just like your arms or legs, the pelvic floor can be trained, and when you strengthen it, the results can be life-changing. Activating this muscle is incredibly simple, but don't underestimate its power. You can begin by sitting or lying down in a relaxed position. Then, gently contract the muscle you would use to stop the flow of urine. Hold that contraction for about 5 seconds, then release. Rest for a few seconds, then repeat. Aim for 10 to 15 repetitions and do this at least 3 times a day. The key is control. You're not just squeezing and releasing, you're reconnecting with a muscle that may have been dormant for years. With consistent practice, most men begin to notice changes in just 2 to 4 weeks. Erections become firmer, more responsive, and longer lasting. You may start waking up with morning erections again, a sign that your internal system is coming back online. Even urinary dribbling, something many men quietly struggle with, often improves dramatically. The beauty of this exercise is that it can be done anywhere. At your desk, while watching TV. No one will even know you're doing it, but inside your body, something powerful is happening. You're waking up the foundation of your sexual health, and that's a huge first step. Now, if that one internal muscle can make such a dramatic difference, imagine what happens when you start activating the surrounding support systems. Muscles that drive circulation, movement, and arousal from the ground up. In the next exercise, we'll tap into a full body move that not only supports the pelvic floor, but also increases blood flow throughout the entire lower region. It's a dynamic, strength-building motion, and it just might surprise you. If you're still here and this message is resonating with you, drop a number 1 in the comments. I want to know you're with me on this journey. Now, let's keep going and dive into the next powerful step. Exercise 2. Bridge pose with pelvic lift. Once you've begun reactivating the pelvic floor, the next step is to build the muscular support system around it. And one of the best ways to do that is with a simple but powerful movement called the bridge pose with pelvic lift. This exercise is more than just a stretch or a core move. It's a way to awaken the entire chain of muscles that influence blood flow, posture, and nerve function in the lower body. When done consistently, it strengthens the glutes, lower back, and deep abdominal muscles, while directly stimulating circulation in the pelvic region. To begin, lie flat on your back with your knees bent and feet flat on the ground, about hip-width apart. Place your arms by your sides for stability. Now, slowly push through your heels and raise your hips toward the ceiling, squeezing your glutes at the top. Hold that position for about 10 seconds while breathing steadily, then slowly lower your hips back down to the floor. That's 1 repetition. You'll want to do 10 to 12 reps per set and aim for 2 to 3 sets per session. What's happening during this movement is subtle but incredibly important. You're creating a pump effect, a rhythmic contraction and release that encourages blood to flow more freely into the lower body, including the arteries that supply the penis. At the same time, you're activating the same nerve pathways that play a role in arousal and performance. And because this is a compound movement, meaning it involves multiple muscle groups working together, it also helps restore stability and endurance, both of which are crucial for sexual confidence. Another benefit? It helps counteract the damage caused by years of sitting, which restricts blood vessels and weakens the very muscles that support healthy erectile function. By practicing this movement regularly, you're not just strengthening your body, you're literally training it to deliver blood where and when it matters most. And here's something men don't always expect. As the muscles and blood vessels in your lower body become more responsive, many also report improvements in balance, energy, and overall stamina, not just in the bedroom, but in daily life. But we're not stopping here, because as important as strength and control are, flexibility plays a silent but crucial role in unlocking full circulation. Up next is a movement designed to open the hips, release hidden tension, and increase blood flow to one of the most overlooked areas of male health. And the effects may surprise you. Exercise 3. Seated butterfly stretch. Now that we've built strength and control, it's time to shift our focus to something just as critical: flexibility. As we age, we tend to lose mobility in the hips and inner thighs, which can have a surprisingly large impact on sexual performance. Tight muscles in this area can compress blood vessels and limit the full flow of circulation to the pelvis. That's where the seated butterfly stretch comes in. Simple in appearance, yet deeply effective, this movement opens up the groin, loosens the hips, and improves the elasticity of the connective tissue that supports erectile function. To perform the stretch, sit comfortably on the floor with your spine tall and your knees bent outward, bringing the soles of your feet together in front of you. Let your knees fall gently toward the floor. You don't need to push or force anything, just allow gravity to do the work. Hold onto your feet or ankles with your hands, breathe deeply, and relax into the position. The goal isn't to achieve extreme flexibility overnight, it's to release long-held tension that restricts blood flow and movement in one of the most important regions of the male body. As you hold the stretch for 30 to 60 seconds, you'll begin to notice a subtle warmth in the hips and inner thighs. That's blood flow returning. Over time, this daily stretch improves circulation, reduces stiffness, and restores a sense of openness and ease in the pelvic region. Many men don't realize how tightness in the hips can block the very blood their bodies are trying to deliver during arousal. This one stretch helps reverse that silently built-up restriction. There's also a hidden emotional benefit. Flexibility exercises like this activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and relax state, which helps reduce anxiety, lower blood pressure, and support sexual arousal naturally. It's not just about stretching muscles. It's about creating the internal conditions that allow blood to move freely and pleasure to return without tension or hesitation. And here's something else. The more freedom you create in your hips and pelvis, the more effective the previous exercises become. The strength you've built now has room to move, expand, and express itself. You'll feel more agile, more open, and more in tune with your body. But now, let's take it one step further, because even with strong muscles and open pathways, you still need something to keep everything in motion. In the next exercise, we'll tap into your body's natural rhythm, stimulate a powerful chemical your blood vessels rely on, and get your entire circulatory system working like it used to, or better. If you're still listening and finding this helpful, type the number 1 in the comments so I know you're still with me. Let's keep moving forward now with the fourth and final exercise. Exercise 4. Cardio walk with active arm pump. After reactivating your pelvic floor, building strength, and unlocking flexibility, the final piece is movement. Real, sustained movement that gets your entire cardiovascular system working in your favor. This is where we bring in a deceptively simple but incredibly powerful habit: walking. Not just casual strolling, but intentional, brisk walking with what I call the active arm pump. This isn't just exercise, it's medicine for your circulatory system. As men age, blood vessels naturally stiffen, and the heart has to work harder to deliver blood efficiently, especially to areas like the pelvis. What walking does is stimulate circulation from head to toe, helping your arteries stay elastic and responsive. And when you add in the active arm pump, meaning you swing your arms in rhythm with your stride, you create a natural pumping action that improves blood return to the heart, supports better oxygen delivery, and activates nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide is a molecule your body produces to relax and expand blood vessels. And here's the best part. Regular brisk walking is one of the most effective natural ways to boost nitric oxide levels. The result? Better blood flow where you need it, when you need it, without relying on pills or complicated interventions. Yay. To get the full benefit, aim for 20 to 30 minutes of brisk walking at least 5 days a week. Breathe through your nose if possible, keep your posture tall, and let your arms swing with energy and rhythm. It's a full-body movement that sends a clear message to your vascular system. Stay strong, stay open, keep delivering. Over time, you may notice your legs feel lighter, your energy improves, and your mind becomes clearer. But more importantly, you'll begin to feel something shift during arousal. Blood moves faster, more fully, and with greater ease. Erections become more responsive because the entire system that supports them is now being trained and optimized. What surprises most men is how this one simple practice affects everything else. It amplifies the benefits of the first 3 exercises, improves heart health, reduces stress, and supports the hormonal balance needed for healthy function. It's not just about walking, it's about putting the entire body in motion again. And that leads us to something truly important. It's not just these exercises on their own, it's how they work together, like parts of a well-tuned machine. When each piece is active and aligned, the results go far beyond what any single movement can offer. In the next section, I'll show you how these 4 exercises form a complete system, and why doing them together unlocks even more than the sum of their parts. How these exercises work together. Each of these exercises on its own offers clear benefits: stronger pelvic control, increased circulation, better flexibility, improved stamina. But the real power doesn't come from doing just 1 or 2. It comes when you combine them. That's when things start to shift in a deeper, more lasting way. Think of it not as a set of isolated moves, but as a complete system, one that retrains your body to perform the way it was designed to, even after 60. You see, the pelvic floor exercise builds the foundation. It restores your internal control, the ability to engage the muscle that directly supports erections and bladder control. Without that, blood flow simply doesn't stay where it needs to be. Then the bridge pose strengthens the glutes and lower core, improving posture and muscular coordination, while pumping more blood through the arteries that lead directly to the pelvis. It reinforces the work done by the pelvic floor and amplifies the results. The butterfly stretch, in turn, unlocks the surrounding area. It improves the range of motion in the hips, thighs, and groin. regions where blood vessels can become compressed and stiff over time. By opening these tight spaces, you create more room for blood to flow, more ease in movement, and less tension during arousal. And finally, the cardio walk with active arm motion ties it all together. It's the circulatory engine that drives oxygen-rich blood to every part of the body, including the most intimate ones. It stimulates nitric oxide production, which relaxes blood vessels, and supports the very flow that erections depend on. Without movement, none of the other systems function optimally. With it, everything comes to life. When practiced together, these exercises begin to reshape your physical baseline. You're no longer just hoping for better function, you're actively creating it. And over time, your body responds. Blood vessels become more flexible, nerves more sensitive, muscles more supportive. The mind starts to feel less anxious, and confidence returns, not because of a quick fix, but because you've rebuilt something real. This approach isn't about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming strength, vitality, and presence in your body right now, in the years that matter most. But what happens when you start to feel those first signs of progress? How do you hold on to it, protect it, and build a lifestyle that supports these gains for the long term? In the final section, I'll leave you with a closing message, one that ties it all together and reminds you of what's possible when you take control of your health, one day at a time. Conclusion. By now, you've seen that reclaiming erectile health after 60 isn't about chasing your younger self. It's about reconnecting with your body, building back what time and inactivity may have taken, and learning that real improvement doesn't have to come from medication, frustration, or shame. It can come from movement, awareness, and consistent action. Just a few minutes a day, done with intention. Each of the 4 exercises we've explored is powerful in its own right. The pelvic floor activation gives you back control. It awakens a muscle that quietly supports your most intimate functions. The bridge pose restores strength to your lower body and fuels circulation, helping blood flow freely and stay where it needs to stay. The butterfly stretch opens the hips, releases tension, and gives your body room to move and respond. And the cardio walk? That's your engine. It drives the blood, awakens the heart, and reminds your body how to live in motion again. Together, they form a system, one that supports not just erectile function, but energy, balance, and confidence. Because let's be honest, this isn't only about sex, it's about feeling alive again. It's about waking up with purpose, moving without pain, and knowing your body is still capable of strength, pleasure, and vitality. And maybe for the first time in a long time, you're not just hoping for improvement, you're creating it. Progress won't come overnight, but it will come. You might notice a firmer response. You might feel a little stronger walking upstairs. Maybe your balance improves, or you wake up one morning with a reminder that your body still works, and that it still wants to. These are small victories, but they add up. And when you start to see them, don't stop. Lean into them. Stay consistent, stay patient, and trust that change is happening beneath the surface, even when you can't see it right away. You're not broken, you're not too old, and it's not too late. This is your reminder that healing isn't only possible, it's already underway. So take what you've learned here, make it part of your routine, and give yourself permission to thrive again. Because the truth is, life after 60 still has a lot to offer, and your body, when you take care of it, has more to give than you ever thought possible. If this spoke to you and you're ready to take control of your health, start today, no matter where you are. And if you found value in this message, leave a comment, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and remember, your best years aren't behind you, they're still ahead.